Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you feel insanely good this morning. My name is Hazik. I'm a revenue acceleration expert, man. Our whole goal is helping you go further, faster, with less effort. I'm a big believer that one of the ways you do that is self-esteem. But what's real cool, man, is that confidence comes from accomplishments, and then accomplishments come from competence. In other words, what am I saying? I'm saying skills build self-esteem. So every single morning, we're giving you something you can add on to your skill set, something you can add on to who it is you're becoming. Because believe it or not, it ain't really the goal you set. It's the person that you have to become to achieve the goal. Do you hear what I'm saying out there? It's not really about the goals that you set up for yourself, for your business, for your family, for your legacy, for your community, for your country. It's really about the person you have to become to reach those goals. This is a mind blowing concept because what a lot of people do, man, is they start with what they want. And so what they do is they say, man, this is what I need to do to achieve what I want. But what we're telling you, as humbly as possible, is that it's really about who you become. It's really about who you become. You got to check it out, man. If you don't like your lifestyle, you got to look at your results. If you don't like your results, you got to look at your activity. If you don't like your activity, you got to look at your attitude. And if you don't like your attitude, you've got to look at your philosophy. You've got to look at who you are. God is preparing you for what you're praying for. God is preparing you for what you're praying for. Can somebody give me that in the comment? That's the first affirmation we're going to say this morning. God is preparing me for what I'm praying for. God is preparing me for what I'm praying for. Somebody give it to me in the comments, man. And then let us know what city you checking in from. My name is Hazik Ali, if you're just now tuning in. We depend on you around here, Millionaire Minded. All we got is us, baby. So we need to know where our family is. Rep your city. What kind of business do you have? We want to know all about it. How does it help people? Because what we know is God is preparing me for exactly what I'm praying for. God is trusting me with these troubles because he understands that we learn way more from loss than we learn from gain. God is trusting me with these troubles because he knows creativity is next to godliness, and all creativity comes from restraints. God is trusting me with these troubles because they are tailor-made to help me become exactly who I need to be to get what I said I wanted. Get what I said I was praying for. You hear what I'm saying? Somebody give it to me. God is preparing me for what I'm praying for. Somebody give it to me. Let's go, okay? God is preparing me for what it is I'm praying for. Somebody share this with me. Somebody share this for me. What's up, Ashley? Jason made it in this morning. God is preparing me for what it is I'm praying for. Let's go, Samaya. Let's go, Chanel. God is preparing me for what it is I'm praying for, Sade. That's exactly right. God is preparing me for exactly what I'm praying for. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you, Shiz. I hope you feel what I'm saying to you. God is preparing me for exactly what I hope I'm making sense to you. So this morning, what we said we was going to talk about, y'all, is skills. Before we get into it, and you say to yourself, man, rapport is 80% of the sale. I'm going to leave this morning knowing a little bit more about rapport. You're in the right place at the right time if you understand that rapport is 80% of the sale. Rapport. This is Sales Tip Tuesdays, ain't it? Ain't this Sales Tips Tuesdays? So that means I'm supposed to be giving it up, right? And I'm telling you, here's your first sales tip for the morning. Rapport is 80% of the sale. Somebody give me that in the comments. Rapport is 80% of the sale. Rapport is 80% of the sale. I'm going to take that down. Did y'all like it? If you didn't like it yet or turn on your notifications, please like it. That's what that's saying right there. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all see that? Oh, another thing. Starting next week, I'm going to do the affirmations and everything live on Instagram. I'm still going to be rocking on Facebook. I'm still going to be rocking on YouTube and all of that. But I sent out a survey last night, and really I need to ask y'all the same thing. Check it out. Who here that's on the phone line would be willing to take it to Instagram? And then also, do you want live affirmations? Do you just want me to say the affirmations on the phone? Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. Every single morning, I'm saying the same exact affirmations that I normally that I was saying when I was sleeping in my car and all of that. The same affirmations that acted as a catalyst and brought alchemy to my life. I was just curious. Would y'all be willing to do that on Instagram? One of my mentors told me that like I'm slipping not being on Instagram. The Instagram is where it's really going down. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, Mr. Haziq Ali. Y'all can go do that now if you want, and then come back and holler at me. Somebody take it to Instagram, Mr. Haziq Ali. Then Christina, Mr. Haziq Ali. Yeah, Jennifer, Mr. Haziq Ali. Make sure y'all add me on Instagram. We're gonna start taking it over there, and then we can go live together. Sometimes I can bring y'all on the screen and all of that. Everybody has been saying that about the affirmation, so we're gonna try it. Okay, let's go, Maura. Let's go, Naire. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take it to Instagram. So y'all remember y'all said that. So don't be having me over there looking crazy. All right. So y'all ready to get busy, man? This morning, what we said we were gonna talk about is ways to build rapport instantly. Ways to instantly build rapport. So if you know, like I know, rapport is 80% of the sale. We know that we need to build more trust. We know that people ain't really buying our product or service. They're buying us. And this weekend's Kaizen Academy is going to go way deeper into rapport. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take it to what I call super rapport, which is in a nutshell, being able to mind read. You know what I mean? Not mind reading like a psychic in Vegas, but mind reading from the tip of me and you can tell what each other is thinking if we'll just pay attention. It's all about rapport. This is the foundation of a strong relationship. I don't care if you're talking about personally or professionally. In sales, though, since this is Sales Tip Tuesday, you need to understand your ability to build rapport is probably one of the most important skills, if not the most important skill that you will ever have in your career. Hey, Shiz, I'm so glad you're here this morning. Naire, I'm so glad you're here this morning. I'm so glad to see you, Sade. I'm so glad to see you, Ashley, Daryl, Samaya, because that old saying that people buy from people they like is still true in 2023, y'all. But what holds the most truth is that people buy from people they trust. Give me that in the comments if you believe me. And then share this with an entrepreneur, y'all. We're going to save somebody's business this morning. We're going to make it so somebody stops making way less than they should. There's people out there making 4 figures a year that need to be making 5. There's people that's making 5 figures a year that deserve to be making 6. But this is one of the things you got to add onto your philosophy, because there's nothing more rewarding than getting on the phone with a prospect, engaging in dialogue, building that connection, and closing a deal that's mutually beneficial. Ain't nothing more rewarding. So we're going to get into some rapport building. We're going to talk about why it's important. We're going to talk about how to build it in sales. So I hope you're ready. Check it out, y'all. Rapport is the process of establishing a relationship between two people. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's mutual trust. It's mutual understanding. Somebody give me this in the comments. Love is just the highest form of understanding. Love is just the highest form of understanding. This can come from experience. This can come from interests. This can come from viewpoints. This can come from affinities. This can come from likes, dislikes. That's one that we leave out that I'm going to be talking about in this masterclass that I'm going to be doing soon, where you could build rapport talking a little bit more about the stuff you hate. Maybe you're in landscaping because you hate those landscapers that leave the weeds there to grow 10 times quicker. You know, maybe that's why you do landscaping. Maybe you're in daycare because when you were young, you were not protected the way you should have been, right? And what your goal is as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is to build those connections, because nothing is better than that feeling of, we just hit it off, baby. This is why it's so important. It means you're good at establishing connections. That's going to get you far, baby. It ain't who you know, it's who knows you, who likes you, and who trusts you. And when it comes to sales, if you don't have rapport, then you ain't got a relationship with the customer. And then they're going to be less likely to value your opinion. So how do you build rapport in sales? We're going to identify and use personal connections. We're going to play with our tonality. You see what I just did there? You see, I was talking all hype, and I was like, we're going to play with your tonality. You see, that's an art form. We're going to be consistent. We're going to use the law of reciprocity. We're going to listen more than we talk. We're going to uncover shared interest. We're going to learn to articulate their pain, and we're going to match and mirror their behavior. This is how we're going to build trust a lot more instantly. So here's the first one: identify and use personal connections. See, what you got to understand is you're here to have meaningful conversation. Yes, the sale is a main focus. You are not running a nonprofit unless you are, in which case your sale is the donor. But that's a training for another day. What we're saying is if you take a more personal approach, then you're going to see the conversation change a little bit. I was talking to a fellow winter personality a couple of days ago, and we were talking about how us as winter personalities, what we love to do is save people time by cutting to the chase. And we say to ourselves, man, listen, I hate people beating around the bush, so let me hurry up and get to it. But we're just one out of 4 different personality types. So if I'm loving on everybody in my love language, what I'm really doing is losing 75% of the room. I'm losing 75% of people I talk up to because I'm not adjusting to understand that just because I like that don't mean everybody else likes that. Remember, the person on the other end of this phone call has a life outside work. Maybe you start with LinkedIn and try to find commonalities. Then you ask them about it to spark some conversation. If you're having trouble thinking of stuff to do, maybe you try questions like, yo, I see you live in Atlanta. I'm thinking about planning a trip there soon. What are your top recommendations? Maybe for a restaurant, maybe somewhere to bring my kids, right? I can ask him that. A second one, and I hope you're jotting these down. Maybe I'm like, man, I noticed you went to Florida A&M. I actually have a friend who went there. They said it was really dope. How did you like it? I hope you're writing these down. Hey, I noticed on Facebook, I noticed on LinkedIn that you participated in that run they just now did. I used to run too. How long you been doing that? Or I used to play basketball too. What position were you? You get what I'm saying? Get them talking about something outside of work so that you start off the conversation. They'll feel more comfortable. The conversation is going to flow a lot more effortlessly after this. Also, you're showing you're interested, not just trying to be interesting. You hear me? I hope I'm making sense, y'all. If you rock with me, then we're big believers in what we call the 7-38-55 rule of communication. Somebody give me that in the comments. 7-38-55. 7-38-55. Guy named Albert Mehrabian came up with this. And what I want you to know is that Dr. Albert Mehrabian changed our lives when he helped us understand that only 7% is the spoken word, 38% is your tone of voice. When I start talking like this, you feel like I'm about to share a secret, and then 55% is your body language. They call it the 7-38-55 rule of communication. In other words, the lyrics is one thing, but it's really about the dance and the music. Yeah, the lyrics matter, but how many times you've been dancing and bouncing along to some straight debauchery, and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, wait a minute, I don't co-sign this. But the music got you. You hear me? All right. What I'm saying to you is that when you're on a sales call, the prospect can't see your body language. They can't see your eye contact. They can't see your microfacial expressions. So that means tone accounts for even more. This is why perfecting your tonality is so important. See how I just did that? I started sounding definitive. I started sounding certain. There's so many different. I got a class in the Kaizen Academy that really runs you through tonality. So if you're down for that, make sure you join the academy, and you could, because that's there's like 26 different tonalities, right? But what I'm saying is stay within your normal pitch. There's a bunch of stories about how Michael Jackson would be talking like this, but then we call you like, yeah, what's up, man? I thought they'd never leave, and you're like, Michael Jackson's voice was actually deep, but he talked like this so that he wasn't intimidating to people. Oh my God. But anyway, you can't make this stuff up. But the point I'm making to you is that both men and women will tend to lower their pitch as a way to project authority. But listeners can always tell. You'll come across as way more authentic and credible when you're using expressive speech, like you're shifting from loud tones to soft tones that are all in your normal range. Don't overthink this stuff. And here's another tip for you. Even when you're on the phone, even though they can't see you, watch your posture. Your body language and posture always affect the tone of your voice. All right, let's move on. You ready for number 3? Give me a number 3 and a share. Give me a number 3 and a share. Y'all still with me? Am I going too fast? Am I going too fast, y'all? Am I going too fast? All right. Here's number 3. We said be consistent. Be consistent is number 3. Be consistent. Be consistent. This is one of the most important traits to have if you're in any kind of customer-facing role, right? If you're trying to build rapport, be consistent. Follow through with your promises. Keep your word, because studies show that when a customer can predict your behavior, they're going to be able to trust you a lot easier. Consistent activities deliver consistent results. So get you a process and stick to it. It's just that easy. Little things like showing up to the meeting on time, sending an agenda, sticking to the agenda, they make more of an impact than you think. If you sit down with that prospect and you say, yo, this is only going to be 20 minutes. If I get on the phone, I'm like, yo, this is only going to take 15 minutes. Stick to that time frame. And one way to maintain consistency is always make clear when you're scheduling this meeting, what kind of meeting it is, how long it's going to be, what y'all are going to talk about, and you got to stick to it. Also, make sure you follow through with anything that you promised. You have to not only gain their trust, millionaire, you got to maintain it. Here's number 4, the law of reciprocity. Luckily, we're recording this. You'll be able to go back through it. Matter of fact, soon I'll be uploading all of these to YouTube in a real way. That's a story for another day, but at least you can go back and rewind this. So the law of reciprocity, you need to give in order to get. This is the power of reciprocity. And this is one of Robert Cialdini's principles of persuasion. Many of you know about Robert Cialdini. He's one of our mentors from afar around here. What the law of reciprocity basically says is that people feel obliged to give back to others in the form of a behavior, a gift, a service, things that they've received first. In other words, you got to serve before you deserve. In psychology, reciprocity is a universally accepted social rule. It's called good home training, right? It's a social norm. It's instinctively engraved in us, and it can play a huge role in your sales. Once you understand this equation, it's going to help you in all kinds of things. You're going to start understanding why you want to give away some of your best stuff. You're going to understand why you want to do them a favor, why you want to give them a gift, why you want to come and call offering help, because you're going to create the urge to return the favor. So how can you provide value in a cold call? How can you provide value with somebody you barely even talk? The first step is to research them. Research the company. Research the role they play in the company. Look at their website. Look at their blogs. Look at their posts all over social media, right? Look at articles that have to do with their industry. Look at updates that their company just now released. There's so much information online that you can learn about somebody. You can invite them. And then after that, after you know some of their interests, now you can start, playing the game hard, right? So now you're inviting them out to events. Now you're making suggestions that can help their business. Now you're providing them with relevant articles. Now you're introducing them to business connections. Now you're introducing possible candidates for better positions, right? I mean, think about it. You're building rapport now, baby. You're building trust. Maybe you're giving them tips about some blogs that they don't know about that can help them out in their industry or in their particular role in their company. Maybe you got recommendations for all kinds of free business tools. Maybe you're just telling them about Good Morning Millionaire and a certain episode that ties in with a problem they shared with you. The list goes on and on. But even if it's much smaller than the stuff I just now named, which I probably gave you about 7 of them right there, even if your list is smaller than these, just showing you're genuinely interested is going to help you out. Instead of just focusing on your agenda, focus on them, because the return is going to come naturally, and it'll undoubtedly help you build rapport. But even more than that, it'll keep you from being poor, because what we all need is more people that owe us favors. I hope I'm making sense, y'all. Yeah, I just hit you up like, yo, man, what's up? I know we ain't talked in a while, or man, I know you're like, I know right now you're thinking, why am I reaching out to you? But I did some research into your company. I thought you'd appreciate this. I thought they did a good job at addressing this pain point, right? Then I send the link. If these resonate with you, let's grab 15 minutes to see if we can help by fixing this pain point for you. Is there a day or time that generally works best for you? Would today at 3 work, or would tomorrow at 7 be better? Or maybe I start off with, would today be better or tomorrow? Or would tomorrow be better or the next day? All right. Enough of that. Here's number 5. Listen more than you talk. I hope I ain't going too fast, y'all. We only got a couple minutes here. Here's number 5. Listen more than you talk. Listen more than you talk. That's number 5. Listen more than you talk. Y'all with me? Listen more than you talk. Listen more than you talk. Somebody give me a number 5 and a share. Listen more than you talk. Now, I ain't even going to beat a dead horse on this one, because your meeting should be a conversation, not a sales pitch. Yesterday on Mindset Monday, we went over nothing but how to become a better listener. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse today, but I just wanted you to know that that applies to today. If you're going to build rapport, you need this sales call to be as conversational as possible. And what studies show is that the top closers are listening about 43%. I'm sorry, the top closers are listening 57% of the time. They're only talking 43% of the time. That's the bottom line. It's a 43 to 57% ratio. So it's kind of close. The average, average people are talking, I'll say about 53% of the time versus 47. It's like they switch it around. And then the bottom 20%, y'all, is talking 65% of the time. That's what the studies show. The bottom 20% of salespeople are talking 65% of the time. What am I saying? I'm saying you want to make the conversation two-way. They're going to feel more comfortable. They're going to feel like they're chatting on the phone with a friend. And that's the vibe you want to create, because if they don't know you, like you, and trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Here's number 6. Here's number 6 if you want instant trust. Here's number 6. Find common ground and uncover some shared interests, man. Find common ground with them. People like people who are like themselves. We like people who are like us. These are 2 rules. We like people who like us, and we like people who are like us, right? They call that the similarity attraction effect. The similarity attraction effect. I don't care what you call it, but write this in your notes. We like people who like us, and we like people who are like us. If you can uncover a similarity with your prospect, you'll have no problem building rapport. I cannot wait until this weekend's Kaizen Academy. If you have not joined the Kaizen Academy, this is a really good time to do it. You not only get access to all the classes we've done already, all the homework never expires. You can write me today about a class that we did a year ago, and I'm still going to help you with the homework, just like we just did the class on Saturday. With all the information we have at our fingertips, y'all, to help us understand buyers, there is no excuse for you walking in and you saying the lamest line in all the sales. So tell me a little bit about what your company does. Like, what? Now, I even understand if you say, tell me a little bit about yourself, because if they start off talking about their family, at least you know they're a family man or woman. If they start off talking about their career, you know that they're kind of like based around achievement and all that. So I don't even mind telling me a little bit about yourself, but tell me about what your company does. Are you kidding me? Check their LinkedIn, man. Check their X, formerly known as Twitter. Check Google. Check their public Facebook profile. I mean, get a life and dig into their lives. You can find similarities in career backgrounds, educational backgrounds. You can find similarities in mutual interests, mutual connections. Any connection you have to the city they're in, definitely build off that. I don't care if you're talking about sports teams, favorite restaurants, experiences you had in that area. The list goes on and on. But always go into that call with a similarity in mind. Somebody give me that in the comments. Always call with a similarity in mind, or some kind of notes that are jotted down about that prospect's experiences. If you're with me, you know my 3 steps to follow up. My comfort curve is based around that personnel file, right? Plugging them in and then having, first of all, the posture of a friend. The reason you're taking on the posture of a friend is because now I know more about you than just hurry up and buy, man. Here's number 7. Articulate their pain before they tell you. That's what we're talking about this weekend's Kaizen Academy. You got to do a little mind read, right? Connecting with your prospects on a more personal level is going to put you way ahead. But what you want to do is show them you understand their pain. I teach that there are 4 different types of pain. You got productivity pain. You got financial pain. That's the main one a lot of people focus on, and I ain't mad at you. That's probably one of the biggest pains in people's lives. But you also got process pain. You also got support pain points, right? If you want to strengthen the initial rapport you built, show them you're dedicated to understanding their issues. Show them you're dedicated to understanding their problems and solving them for them. Because here's what's crazy. 78% of customers, that's almost 8 out of 10, don't feel understood by the brands that they support. That's why you've got an advantage as a small business owner. It's so important to make them feel understood. And if you can make it clear that they've been heard, they're way more likely to listen to the message you're trying to convey. If you're trying to hook me up with a lady, I'm way more inclined to listen to you if you know what turns me up and what turns me off. If I know you know me. And there's no better way to solve their pain than by showing you understand. So maybe you say questions like this. I know I'm giving you more notes right now. We're going to hurry up and get out of here, but you know what I mean? What takes up the most time in your day? So why isn't your current solution working for you? Why isn't your current process working for you? That's the second one you can use. Here's the third one. What's the biggest challenge you're currently facing? Right? Here's another one. You mentioned you have a frustration around, X. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Right? What's preventing you from hitting your goals? Man, that is coaching 101 right there. That's consultation 101, where you make them share what's holding them back, not what you think is holding them back. You got me? Or you could say, what's the main thing holding your business back from growth? Come on now, write those questions down, because in the questions that I just now gave you, all you're doing is listening. So you can pinpoint the problems and you can pinpoint a solution you can offer that can specifically solve what they consider to be a problem. And guess what? If you ain't got the solution, maybe your job should be turning them on to somebody else that got it. Because what you're looking for is a trust, baby. And just because you couldn't sell it to them don't mean you can't sell it to 10 of their friends. And the way that you show active listening is by using all the stuff that we went over yesterday. You're being attentive. You're offering value. You're observing body language. You're asking open-ended questions. You're using affirmative injections, right? You're maintaining appropriate eye contact. You ain't giving Dahmer. You don't want to give Dahmer or Charles Manson, right? But you do want to maintain some kind of contact with them eye to eye that shows you have confidence and that you're a man of integrity or a woman of honor, right? You want to find connections between topics. You want to be patient and listen. Stop cutting them off. You want to listen with curiosity and judgment. You're listening to understand, not reply. You're mirroring their emotions. We'll get into that in a minute. Maybe you summarize and paraphrase. You got me? This can demonstrate that you are really listening. You might even want to take notes because that'll show them that you find them what? Noteworthy. Y'all ever heard that term, noteworthy? Like, man, they'll call celebrities noteworthy and whatnot, but you make somebody feel noteworthy when you find them worthy of taking notes with what they're saying. Okay. And then here's number 8, y'all. Match and mirror behavior. Watch body language. This is a powerful technique. This always helps with rapport because when people are engaged in conversation, it's going well. It's common that they subtly imitate each other's body language. Why? Because matching behaviors creates the sense that two people are in sync. They're on the same page. They're conveying feelings right now of trust and empathy. It is amazing how we can do this with good stories or do this with good questions. We'll start to mirror each other naturally. But like I always tell you, you don't just adjust your psychology with your physiology. You also can adjust your physiology with your psychology. So what I'm saying is I can do either one. Either when I'm sad, my shoulders droop, or when I droop my shoulders, I'm sad. You not only lift your shoulders when you're excited, but also I can get excited by lifting my shoulders. I not only stand in the mirror and feel confident when I'm, you know what I mean? But also I can feel confident by standing in the mirror and doing that Superman pose or that Wonder Woman pose. All right. So when you're mirroring, there's a bunch of things you can do. Nonverbal cues, tone of voice, volume, language quality. If they're talking fast, then I need to talk fast. If they're talking slow, I need to make sure that I'm talking slow as well. I want to match their pacing. I want to match the length, how long they talk, letting them talk slightly longer, of course. I want to make sure that I find common ground. I want to make sure I'm summarizing things. They've done study after study on how this stuff works with business negotiations. And what the study showed is that almost 70% of the time when the student was instructed to mirror the other one, they reached a deal. Almost 70% of the time. But when they were told not to mirror, only 12% reached a deal. I think that's pretty important. We've done whole trainings on Obsessed with Success, that free class we do every Wednesday at 5:15 p.m. where we go over the stories, the strategies, and the mindset of the best to ever do it. That's every Wednesday. If you are a member of Dear Millionaire, then you already knew that. Have y'all text message at MillMind to 81010? Check this out. Let me put this at the bottom. Hey, by the way, if you got yesterday's newsletter, can I get some fire emojis? Was y'all feeling yesterday's newsletter? That thing was cold, right? Them seven closes that don't let you get rejected. That was cold, right? I gave you 7 of them, baby. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you didn't join the newsletter yet, there it is right there. Entrepreneurishment. It's called Entrepreneurishment. It's our newsletter for entrepreneurs and servant leaders. If you didn't join that yet, you may want to. All right, y'all. We out of here. I hope that was helpful. But mirror their body posture to show you on the same page. Adjust your tone and pace so that you feel similar. Match their emotions and their energy level. And then the last one I had for you was open-ended questions. We got whole trainings on that in the Kaizen Academy. But tell me about the issue or the challenge you're hoping to solve versus a closed question would be like, are you looking to solve this problem? Or open-ended is like, what are the attributes that are most important in the solution you're looking for? Like, what are the pieces you need in a business credit solution? What are the pieces you need in a personal credit solution? You know, or I could ask a closed question, which would be bad. Is quality or cost more important to you? Now they just answer, and I got to come up with something else now. I'd rather ask a question that makes them talking so I can get a break. What attracted you to this as a possible solution? Like, what made you even agree to get on the phone with me? What improvements could we make to help it better fit your needs, right? What are the biggest challenges? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, what's stopping you from solving this? Describe your experience with our customer service team. What, if anything, would you change about our offering? How would you describe our product if you was talking to one of your peers? Y'all see that? Lots of questions, man. I always say questions are the answer. I see you live in Georgia. Do you like it? I see you live in Atlanta. Have you ever tried this, Nobu? Have you ever tried this restaurant? Is it true what they say about living in Missouri? I noticed you went to FAM. They said it was blank. How'd you like? I was thinking about visiting there soon. What are your top recommendations? I noticed in your LinkedIn summary, you said you love blank. Yo, congrats on such and such that just happened. How long has that been in the works? I was looking at your site and I came across blank. That's awesome. What's that been like? Right? I see you used to work for blank. Yo, I know somebody who used to work there. Do you know blank? I see you change positions from blank to blank. I switched career paths as well, man. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. Oh my goodness. It was a tough decision for me, but let me ask, what made you, what motivated you to take the leap like that? Y'all get what I'm saying? All right, y'all. I hope this was helpful. We out of here. It's affirmation time. Let's go. Go. Let's go. Y'all ready? Yeah, 70% closed the deal when they were using that mirroring part, Michael Joe. Good stuff. All right, was this helpful? Appreciate that, Larry Bay. All right, it's affirmation time. Let's get it. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Starting next week, we're going to do this on Instagram, so make sure you join me on Instagram, Mr. Haziq Ali. Mr. Haziq Ali. It's the same exact affirmations I was saying when I was homeless. I was sleeping in my car like, I am now a millionaire. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me easily and frequently and in all kinds of ways. And then I would just feel it happening in advance. While I'm sleeping in the car, why the police come tapping on my window with that little flashlight thing? You can't sleep here, sir. But look at me now. No. Affirmation time, y'all. Let's get it. Y'all ready? If you ain't joined the Kaizen Academy yet, I want to suggest that you join. That little $40 tuition ain't nothing, man. It's really a joke. It's really a joke, to be honest. But my mentor told me you don't pay attention unless you pay. So let's go. All right, y'all called in by now? All right, it's affirmation time. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so